This evening from Arizona's Chase Field, Root Sports brings you Houston Astros baseball. The Astros brought their bats to last night's 21-5 pounding of the Diamondbacks. And tonight, starter Colin McHugh would love more of the same as he guns for his 19th in another must-win scenario. Hi, everybody. Alan Ashby and Jeff Blum with you. Julia Morales, of course, will be with us throughout the course of the day. The Astros are in a great spot right now. But a week ago today, Saturday, the Astros had just lost a game against the Texas Rangers to open a 3-game set at home. They had lost 4 in Arlington previously. It didn't feel like a good time. And then came a big turnaround on Saturday, and they have thrown themselves right back in the race, Blummer.
Yeah, they were looking for a new momentum there in the middle of September on that homestand. They lost that first game to Texas, but came firing back. You can see the ball flying out of the ballpark in their home ballpark where they do play extremely well. But this is where things started to go well for them. Offenses started to rip the ball. They were getting good starting pitching, but they're 5-1 since that series against Texas. And since that series, Texas has gone 3-5. So that's how these Astros have crept back into this situation in the American League West Division title thoughts now.
And, of course, the Astros continue in that good spot as we check our progressive upcoming schedule and the playoff scenarios. What you'll be able to see here is it's starting to wear itself down, but the Angels kind of extended things a bit today. But the Astros in a great spot. I'll go this far and turn it over to Blummer. If the Astros win today and tomorrow, they are in one way or another.
Yeah, that's the key to this whole situation. These scenarios are for fans at home who are trying to figure out what's going on. So if the Astros go 2-0, Texas goes 0-1, then they will play a tiebreaker for that American League West Division title. If they go 2-0 and Texas wins, they are in the wild card. But the big situation down there at the bottom, they could end up in a play-in game for that wild card against LA if they go 1-0 and the Astros go 1-1.
Coming up, the Astros offense responded to playoff pressure with a record-setting performance last night. But it could come down to pitching in Game 2. Blummer and I talk Colin McHugh when we come back. By Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Colin McHugh goes for the Astros tonight in a big one. He's one of 3 18-game winners in the American League, and he's 5-0 over his last 6 starts. Plummer.
Pretty special situation to have Colin McHugh in. He's riding a 5-game winning streak right now with the numbers he's putting up. What you're watching right now is last August 2nd when he did face these Diamondbacks, going 7 strong with 6 punch-outs. Look for the same performance tonight.
Coming up, it's been a long wait between playoff appearances in Houston, but the 2015 Astros are ready to blast their way right into the postseason. Can they get it done in the Arizona desert? The game is next.
This is better than jumping through the hoops and fire. And I'm always scared I'm going to fall.
And with an emphatic statement Friday night, the kids from Crush City are on the brink. Only 2 wins stand between them and a storybook ending to a Cinderella regular season. 2 more wins to shock the world and make the playoffs. The chase continues right now.
We welcome everybody into Chase Field, where the roof has just been opened. A nice evening in Phoenix for Game 2 of this 3-game set. The Astros closing out the 2015 regular season with a 6-game, 7-day road trip. The road not where they've played their best all year long, 32-47 record on the road. But if they get a win right here, they can clinch a winning road trip. You have to look a long way back into 2015 to find their last winning road trip. It was back in April 20 through the 29th. Saw Seattle, Oakland, San Diego, won 8 of 9 on that trip. Started a 10-game win streak there. Had a 4-game lead of the AL West. You see the numbers, how well the offense was doing during that time, 7.3 runs per game. But on this road trip, the Astros 3-1. And they need that win, like I said, to make it a winning road trip. It all started with Lance McCullers in Seattle. They've been doing it in all aspects of the game. Lance being the starting pitching was good. The bullpen's been good. And the offense, guys like George Springer coming back in September. He's been hot. Chris Carter with 2 huge home runs. They've hit 10 home runs so far on this road trip. 4 in last night's game. Of course, last night's game with 21 runs. The Astros feeling pretty good after a game like that, putting it on the Arizona Diamondbacks, trying to carry that over into tonight and wearing those orange jerseys again, guys. They look to do it again.
Thank you, Julia. And yes, the Astros do look to do it again. We talked about a 4-game winning streak when they had a couple of days ago 4 games to play. They picked up the first 2 in that little span, Blummer, and it's a team that looks after last night like they are as confident as they can be with the bats.
I was going to say they should be confident. 21 runs last night's ball game, looking to continue to do the same here against Jeremy Hellickson. But their backs were up against the wall, kind of played themselves into that situation, and now they're in must-win games, and they've won the first two. Just two more to go.
So here we go with the lineup for the Astros. A.J. Hinch has Jose Altuve in the top spot, followed by George Springer and Carlos Correa. Middle three in the order: Colby Rasmus, Luis Valbuena, and Chris Carter. In the bottom three: Preston Tucker, Jason Castro, and Colin McHugh. As we're playing National League rules now, the pitchers rather, swinging the bats.
Jeremy Hellickson, right-hander, going for the Arizona Diamondbacks, having a rough go of it. Lost his last three starts. But the interesting thing, in those last three starts, he has received 0 runs in support. So look for Colin McHugh to hopefully take advantage of that against Jeremy Hellickson.
So we get set here. The roof, as Julius said, has been opened. It's really quite beautiful here this evening. It's cooled down in the last 24 hours or so. And the first pitch of the night. Jose Altuve hitting .310 on his year, 195 hits. So if he's to get to 200, he needs to pick up 5 hits between tonight's game and tomorrow's concluding game. And a lot on the line for the Astros. This one is rammed down the left field side. There's the first of the 5 hits if he's to get them. It's a leadoff double here in the first inning. Set and ready to go with that wood once again. Jose Altuve. The Astros pounding out 21 runs last night.
Good start. We're going to see where that pitch is in our strike zone. Brought to you by M.D. Anderson. Center cut on that inner third for Jose Altuve. Having a tough time beating him in the last couple of years on that inner third. Just turns on it, whacks it down there. Good start for the Houston Astros after an electric game last night.
So they pick it right up where they left off last night. And now it's in the hands of a guy that's been swinging it very well. Julia mentioned the hot bat of George Springer. Slammed his 16th home run in last night's game. Hits one on the ground through into left field. Altuve had to freeze momentarily. Gets to third base. Back-to-back hits. Double Altuve. Single Springer. And the Astros are underway here this evening.
Always sounds smarter after the play actually happens, but I was thinking that George Springer, with the way he's been swinging the bat, should just be swinging away. I know, two-hole guy with a guy at second base, you think move him over, but with the way the bats have been going, just let him go for a rip. Pretty good move by Altuve right here, making sure that ball gets through into left field.
Yeah, for whatever reason, the Astros coming into Arizona, like a lot of clubs, enjoy hitting here. Ball carries well. It's a big ballpark. And now a chance for Carlos Correa to put the Astros on top here in the first inning. Carlos hitting .282. He had number 22 last night, like Springer, slamming that home run to center field.
And the Astros offense coming off that their best offensive month in September, hitting .272 in that month. As a team, they had 44 home runs, and then start the month of October with what they did last night. They are feeling extremely confident coming into a great hitting ballpark like Chase Field.
That double for Altuve, his 40th on the year. Correa at times very inclined to hit the ball the other way. It's a great set of numbers: 22 doubles, a triple, and 22 home runs. He's driven in 67. Young man who's only been with the Astros since June. Set a single season franchise record with the home run last night by a shortstop, and for home runs by a rookie. Dickie Thon previously among shortstops had 19 home runs. That back in 1983. Correa fouls it at the plate. It's 1-2. The numbers on Carlos Correa being compared to a pretty good ball player himself, Lance Berkman.
Yeah, he ended up with quite a few home runs. But yeah, the new standard, Carlos Correa finally has more home runs than years in life.
There you go. He's 21 years of age and just barely there. in the air to right field. About medium depth. Catch is made. Tagging Altuve comes to the plate. The throw is not in time. Altuve with that speed and that guile with the slide, able to score the first run of the day. It's 1-0 Houston here in the first inning.
It's good to see them scoring first.
Sac fly for Carlos Correa and another RBI.
Brito does a good job of getting behind this baseball, making a strong throw home. But like you said, the speed of Altuve and the creativity with the slide, no chance.
68 RBIs now. One out. George Springer with that speed aboard at first base. Colby Rasmus tries to bunt one with that shift on, and a nice play by a guy who is accustomed to being a good defensive pitcher. Hellickson makes the play 1-3, and Hellickson has already picked up a Gold Glove and shared one another time. So 2 outs now. Sacrifice bunt as Springer is into second base.
Would have liked to have seen Colby take a couple more pitches and see if George could have stolen second base, getting into scoring position for Colby. But Colby a little more intent on trying to take advantage of that shift that was on.
Yeah, if he was going to take advantage, he probably needed to get it closer to the line there. It brings up Luis Valbuena. He's hit in 7 straight. That's the long streak on the club. He has slammed 25 home runs on his season. Take a look at Jose Altuve and his ability to score.
It's on our Super Mo, brought to you by Mattress Firm. You see that ball check up just a little bit. Little bit of a lane given to him by Castillo, but it doesn't take much for Altuve to get past there. Put a hand on the plate for that first run.
Plummer, we've said must win, and the club's known they've been in a must-win scenario now over this past week. How nice when you're in a must-win scenario to score in the first inning and jump ahead.
It just kind of breaks that seal a little bit. Hopefully they relax, just continue to go out there and swing bats like they can.
For Valbuena, that batting average at .224. It's been about the home run ball. 18 doubles, no triples. Out in front, and Hellickson has a very good changeup. You may have seen already the Angels picked up an improbable and nearly impossible win over the Texas Rangers earlier today. And the Astros in a position with 2 wins to possibly still win the division crown. That'll do it. Down on strikes Valbuena, but the Astros get a run and leave a man in the first inning through a half an inning. It's 1-0 Houston. As we go to the bottom of the first for the Arizona Diamondbacks, they line them up with Socrates Brito in the top spot, and you see some great numbers for a guy who's just been with the club a while. Aaron Hill bats second, and he's followed by A.J. Pollock, who's had a real nice year. And great year for Paul Goldschmidt. He's the cleanup man. Wellington Castillo is the catcher. Jake Lamb plays at third. Bottom three in the order, Peter O'Brien. He hit a mammoth home run last night as a pinch hitter. At shortstop, Chris Owings. Jeremy Hellickson bats in that ninth spot.
Colin McHugh going for your Houston Astros. 18-7 on the season, going for that 19th win. Sitting on 199 and 2/3 innings pitched. He has reached single season career highs in starts, innings, wins, and quality starts. Pretty good year for Colin McHugh. Not to mention he's 12-3 on the road.
He's won 5 of his last 6 starts, 5-0 in that span. The hitters have befriended him quite well, providing run support, but Colin has pitched well to get there and trying to be the only 19-game winner in the American League. Of course, Dallas Keuchel won his 20th last night. Little cutter right on the hands is fouled. 2 balls and a strike. Last time out for Colin McHugh, that came against the Texas Rangers. He went 6 2/3, allowing 4 runs on 8 hits. And again, enough run support in that game to win number 18. But falls behind on the leadoff man, 3-1.
Threw a lot of cutters. You just saw one right there in his last start against Texas. It's been effective for him. We know he likes to pitch with that fastball up in the zone, but cutter's a good pitch to get on the hands.
Ball hit hard to left field, going back and not able to get there, Preston Tucker. And so the Astros led off with a double, Altuve, and now the Diamondbacks do the same thing with Brito. He's at second, nobody out for Aaron Hill.
Ball was lashed. Look where Jason Castro is set up, and look at where the pitch ends up. Good piece of hitting by Brito.
And we talked last night about the Diamondbacks as a club. They're very good offensively. They're among the leaders in numerous categories in the National League offensively. Aaron Hill had 3 hits in his game last night, including a pair of doubles. Tries to shoot toward right field, fouls one. It's 0-1. Over his last 31 games, Hill has swung it well, hitting .292, 8 doubles in that span. Also a couple of home runs, 13 RBIs. And again, Hill takes a shot at right field. McHugh out in front, 0-2. Check of the runner at second. And then that curveball, dropping it down to 74. Rich Dower, part of that coaching staff, has done such a great job with the club this year. Castro with a nice job. It's 1-2. A.J. Hinch has had a lot of weight on his shoulders, but he's handled it all beautifully and led this club to a great spot now with just tonight's game and tomorrow to play. And the Astros, for the moment, are in the playoffs, but work to be done. Cutter spotted perfectly. Hill caught looking. And out number 1.
Great pitch by Colin McHugh. Kind of slowed things down for Aaron Hill with back-to-back breaking balls and fought off a couple of them. But here, just nasty late break on that outer corner. Getting the courtesy call right there off the edge a little bit.
Never hurts when you can get it. And again, a big first out as the 3-hitter A.J. Pollock comes to the plate.
You're talking about A.J. Hinch carrying around a little extra weight here towards the end of the season, but he's carrying it quite nicely, and I don't think he anticipated being in this spot even when he took over the job here with the Houston Astros, doing a great job.
I don't think there's any way coming out of spring training anybody could have thought the Astros would be 85 and 75 with 2 games to play and in one of those wild card spots as they start play.
A lot of those projections to start out the season were 73 to 75 wins for the Houston Astros, and they far exceeded expectation.
High fastball thrown by at 88. 0-2 the count on Pollock. Talked about him having such a nice year, .313 batting average. He's a guy who plays almost every day. 156 games played in, 188 hits, 19 dingers, driving in 75, and playing a great center field, as Blummer was talking about last night.
Yeah, he's one of those high WAR guys with that combination of the good offensive numbers and the ability to track it down in the outfield.
Colin with a spin towards second.
Now, with the way this defense is set up, it's almost as if Altuve is basically holding on Brito at second base. So the option is there for Colin McHugh if he wants to try and get him.
Leaves a fairly wide open right side, but it's certainly possible that that's exactly the way the Astros would play anyway with Altuve, at least directionally. Line shot that goes foul. Before the Astros beat the Diamondbacks last night and beat them good, Arizona had won 4 straight, and they had their sights on playing 500 baseball this year. They came into this series saying it's all about winning 3 games and getting to 81 and 81. Well, that's no longer in their sights, but they put out the Class A lineup.
You mean A-plus lineup, not their Class A.
Well, there you go. Okay. Your major league looking lineup. The Yankees with a doubleheader today in game 1 did not exactly have their front line lineup. Hit down the right field side, slicing foul. Colin McHugh and Dallas Keuchel have made up quite a combo this year.
Yeah, to say the least. This guy's putting up great numbers. They could end up with 39 wins between the 2 of them. How about what the Astros are doing with both of them pitching? Their combined record with those 2 guys in baseball games is 43 and 21 this year.
Pretty remarkable stuff.
Well, you immediately, if you ask about pitching duos, wouldn't you say Zach Greinke and Clayton Kershaw?
In one order or another, absolutely.
Yeah, but these guys have better winning percentages.
And down on strikes is Pollock. So a couple of strikeouts after the leadoff double. And now Colin McHugh finds himself in a position to possibly get out of the inning. First base open, and that's key now with Paul Goldschmidt at the plate.
Peter O'Brien, A.J. Pollock, Socrates, Brito in the outfield. In the infield, Lamb, Owings, Hill, and Goldschmidt behind the plate. Wellington, Castillo, and Jeremy Hellickson. Those are not your Astros.
Well, the Astros are not inclined to want to face this guy, and I don't blame them one bit. Goldschmidt, one of the best hitters, best clutch hitters in all of baseball. And the Astros will put him on intentionally here in the first inning. Wellington Castillo, the catcher, waits on deck. Third wide one.
It's understandable.
And now the intentional pass. So it'll put runners at first and second. 2 outs for Castillo.
Hey, here's some Astros. Check them out here at Chase Field. Preston Tucker, Colby Rasmus, George Springer in the outfield. Luis Valbuena at third, Carlos Correa at short, Jose Altuve at second, Chris Carter at second base, and Jason Castro working with Colin McHugh this evening here in Arizona.
Get all 18 of those guys out there.
Man.
It's going to be a really tough defense.
That's how it felt sometimes when you go out there and hit.
I would anticipate the low-scoring game. Castillo hits it in the air, right center field. Should be easy for Springer. He'll make the catch, and that's quite a job by Colin McHugh getting out of that first inning after the leadoff double. 1-0 Houston.
Have to win. They know that what they need to do in order to get to the postseason. Win both of these games. Nothing else matters there. But they also have an eye on what's going on with the Angels and Rangers. They watched the scoreboard last night during that game. But today they got to watch it in the clubhouse along with the media. After the media was left and got to see these guys on the couches and the chairs as they watched this one unfold. And it was a wild one. Thinking the Texas Rangers had this one wrapped up at their home ballpark. The Angels kept clawing their way back in the ninth, and Colin McHugh at our front row and center spot for this one. And guys talking about it afterwards saying, you know, it's fun, it's very exciting, it's very intense. But like, again, we knew that we weren't going to be able to clinch despite what happened in that game. We still have to win. So they knew they still had business to do today, and now they're going to have to do a little bit more maybe tomorrow. We'll see how everything unfolds. But the players, definitely it's a first time for a lot of these guys, so it's very interesting for them to kind of live through this. There are guys who have been there, done that, but guys like Jason Castro who've never been through this kind of roller coaster of emotions here so late in the season, guys.
Thanks, Julia. And it really was quite a ball game in Arlington, and what a way to have it end. What a ninth inning for the Angels and their bats as they stay alive. It was hard to figure out who you were rooting for in that game.
I know, yeah, that's the thing. Is, you know, when the Rangers got on top, you're like, okay, sweet, just win the ball game, clinch a wild card. Then the Angels come back, and then you start your game realizing you have a chance to win a division title still.
So you clinch a wild card, which means you get one game to play your way into the postseason. Right now, it could work out, and it requires the Astros to keep winning.
Yep.
And the Rangers to lose tomorrow. One game shot to actually win the division crown, and that could happen on Monday. So,
yeah,
we will have to stay tuned, I guess, huh?
I mean, you're playing for some serious dough too. That'll change your playoff check a little bit.
So that's the mindset right now as Carter rams one down the left field side. That's in the corner, and the ball kicks away from O'Brien in left field. Leadoff double. In each half innings case, it's been a double to start things. Altuve started the first with a double. He scored, and the 1-0 lead is where we have it. So Carter aboard now for Preston Tucker, who swung it well last night.
Yeah, that's a breaking ball just backing up into the swing of Chris Carter. And the way he's been swinging it lately, you just got to get it in the vicinity. This man's going to put the barrel on it and shoot it down that line. Lucky that ball stayed in the ballpark as well as he's been swinging it.
Yeah, Chris Carter has earned his way into the starting lineup once again. 16th double for Chris. Preston Tucker shows bunt and takes the curve for a strike.
Why are any Astros bunting after what happened last night?
Well, and I would say of Tucker, my eye, I thought he was swinging the bat great again last night. So yeah, let it fly. Maybe try to pull one a little bit and take your chances.
Well, that's what you guys in the dugout saying. Pull it, get him over, get him in if you get a base hit.
A lot of people love the bunt game, but if you're trying to put some big numbers on the board, and big numbers typically win, you swing the bats, and that's the way most major league teams go. In fact, I would say all at this point.
Yeah. And this early in the game too. I mean, if you're bunting maybe later in the game in a little more pressure situation where you desperately need that run, maybe.
Where you're playing for one run.
Yeah. In those late innings, but now let it rip. Especially with this matchup. Nothing against Hellickson, but he's throwing 90 miles an hour with the fastball changeup off speed behind it. And the way the Astros swung the bats last night with the confidence being quite high, swing it.
Preston Tucker has 13 home runs on his season. Driving in 33. He's also got 19 doubles. Dangerous man when he's feeling it. And takes a strike. It's 1-2.
Paint that outside corner. Still as a left-hander, I felt if I was trying to get somebody to third base with nobody out, I had no problem getting around that pitch. Now, if the guy's throwing 95 miles an hour, I'd get it ready a little bit earlier.
Gets a piece of that breaking ball. There were times when, for me, it was a must get him over batting left-handed. I'd actually try to hit a fly ball because I could roll over a pitch with the best of them when I try to hit a fly ball and kind of hit one on the ground that way.
Yep.
And on occasions you catch it, but
now, one thing I knew I could do is roll a ball to the second baseman with the best of them.
Did you ever notice though when you were trying to lift, you'd get that rollover kind of effect?
Yeah, you get that loopy swing.
Again, getting a piece is Tucker. Nobody out here in the second inning. Oh, what a night for the Astros last night offensively. 21-5 final. Carlos Correa, big part of last night's activities. 4 RBIs on his night.
That was a pretty good night in the AFC South last night for the Houston Astros.
3 touchdowns.
Fantasy numbers off the charts.
Kicking game was a little suspect. Hit in the air to right field. And this is deep enough to move the runner Carter. He's coming. Strong throw to third base. And he's called out. Perfect throw from right field from Brito. And as it stands for the moment, a double play. We'll see if A.J. Hinch comes out and challenges this call. Umpire down at third base, Laz Diaz. We saw him last night behind the plate.
That wasn't even close. Ball was ripped. Tucker did a good job of pulling his hands in and hitting it hard to right field, but Brito gets behind that thing and then it just unleashes a laser to third.
A perfect throw. They get the double play.
That'll put third base coaches on notice.
So the leadoff double in the second inning goes nowhere. And now with 2 outs, Jason Castro comes to the plate. Just quickly back on last night's game. The only Astro with 3 hits. Oh, there were 2 of them on the night. Luis Valbuena and Carlos Correa. Correa led the way with 4 RBIs. Home runs from Springer, Correa, Colby Rasmus. It's a great shot of the breakdown on that play, and Carter just didn't get the foot to the bag.
Everybody in the right position too. That's good to see. Good play.
Castro takes away 2 balls and a strike. Out on the hands, fouled back. 2-2 now on Castro. Jason hitting .213 and a disappointing year with the bat. Has 11 home runs, part of that club of 11 with double-digit home runs. You think anything was even said in the Astros clubhouse today before the game?
As far as
what needs to take place?
Oh, yeah.
Line shot. We can get to that as Guido makes a nice play. So he comes up with a couple of nice ones in the inning. It's 1-0 Houston. Mariachi bands going on around the ballpark. Nice sound and flavor here this evening. Francisco Romero in town. One of our Spanish broadcasters, lead guy on the Spanish side, along with Alex Trevino, longtime broadcaster with the Astros. Francisco lives out here in the Tucson area, south of Phoenix. To the bottom of the second inning we go. Jake Lamb will lead it off, followed by Peter O'Brien and Chris Owings. The Astros with 3 hits on the night, including a couple of doubles. Diamondbacks with 1 hit. That was a double. Chopper goes to first base. Carter with the play. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the second inning. Yeah, I was asking about whether you thought anything was said in the Astros clubhouse, like as in official stuff from the skip, or is it that point of the year where you just it's known, it's understood what you need to do on any given night?
Yeah, I mean, this is the information age. It's all out there right now. Everybody knows what they need to do, but I'm sure AJ may have had that team meeting or may have been talking to guys and said it in a way that to encourage them, to help them understand that these games are important, but not to play tight, just to leave it all out there on the field.
Good breaking ball to start things. Right hand hitting Peter O'Brien at the plate. Came up as a pinch hitter last night and did some serious launching for his first major league home run.
Yeah, he seemed pretty mad at that baseball.
That goes through on the breaking ball. It's 0-2.
Well, you hit a fastball last night, about 1.5 miles. You're going to see some off speed the next day.
He's hitting a cool 600 in the major leagues, 3 for 5. A couple of walks mixed in, and that'll boost the on base percentage to 714.
It's a tough pace to keep up. OPS at 1900.
Yeah, you hit yourself a home run in those 5 official at bats and almost have that 2000 OPS. Just away. It's 2-2. O'Brien from Hialeah, Florida. Second rounder, 2012 by the Yankees. How does that kind of power get away? Curveball. He's out in front, down on strikes. That's 3 already for Colin McHugh.
It's a good break on it, but still right down the middle. But it's just taking a little bit off that pitch, that speed. Get the youngster jumping out in front of it.
With 2 outs, it brings up Chris Owings, the 8-hitter. Diamondbacks shortstop hitting .231. Just a bit of pop, 4 homers on his year. That little cutter looking effective here this evening.
Colin's kind of turned to that pitch a little more frequently here in these last 4 or 5 starts. It's been effective for him. Just that slight little movement. He's doing a good job of getting that late movement on it too.
Ground ball back up the middle. Correa is there and makes the play. A 1-2-3 second inning for Colin McHugh. We've played 2. It's 1-0 Houston.
Park. You won't want to miss the excitement of October baseball. Buy tickets at astros.com/postseason or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. Remember, you can purchase tickets for these games, and there's lots of scenarios still floating around out there depending on what happens tonight and tomorrow. Of course, Monday night at Minute Maid Park is still a possibility. Tuesday, make sure to check out that website /postseason. Very important there to get more details. Guys, this is fun.
It is fun. I think the way that I tend to look at it is the Astros have lost 1 less game than the Angels. And if the Astros win their 2 games, the Angels are out of it. The Astros have that ability to cut the Angels right out of things. But the Texas Rangers are the club the Astros can still get to. Don't know how AJ looks at it, but I imagine it's all about win today, and then when tomorrow comes, go win today. Colin McHugh with a bat. Takes the leadoff strike. Fastball is away. Ball and a strike on Colin. He's 1 for 5 on the year with the bat. He's also scored a run. On his career, 2 for 17. Not bad right here as he hits a fly ball to center field. Pollock toward right center to make the play. And out number 1. What are we doing? It's evening time.
Oh, chicken and waffles is never a bad time for that, is there?
I guess not. Got that right out here in the outfield, huh? How quickly do you think we could sprint there in between innings?
I know I'd beat you.
Oh, that's the way to bet on the real long shot. Jose Altuve 1 for 1 with a double. Shows bunt and takes a strike on the curveball. That double, number 40 for Jose. Now 196 hits, 4 more to get to 200. Curveball finds the inside corner. 0-2 the count. The Altuve double in the first inning led to the only run of the game. Picked up on a sac fly by Carlos Correa. And that, by the way, gives Correa now 5 RBIs already in this series. Had a little bit of a dry spell with the bat in that Seattle series, but even when he does, he's ready to break out at any moment.
He's always a threat.
One and two on Jose. They had over 33,000 here in Arizona last night. Not a bad crowd here this evening. Ground ball hit right to third. Lamb is there. And out number 2 here in the third inning. We'll bring up George Springer, who had the other hit in that run scoring first. And swinging a lethal bat. George now at 272 on the season. 17 doubles, a pair of triples. Hit his 16th home run last night. In fact, George has had multiple hits in his last 4 games. One of those a 3-hit game, that in Seattle. A couple of doubles in that span, 2 home runs. He's airing it out pretty well.
I think we talked about it about 5 or 6 days ago about how this guy right here, if he gets hot, he can literally carry a ball club. And he's just been contributing. He's been driving in runs and being on base for those guys behind him to drive him in.
He scored 4 times in last night's victory. Fastball finds the inside edge. Yeah, I'm in complete agreement. George Springer is one of the unique talents. And if and when he totally puts it all together, I think you've got a guy that sky's the limit in terms of what he can do. Fights one off and grounds it foul. Looks like with the last 2 pitches, the Diamondbacks feel maybe they can exploit that inside edge with the heater.
Yeah, and it looks like Hellickson has good run on that fastball on that arm side also. He speeds that bat up with hitters trying to fight that inside pitch off, and then comes back with the breaking ball. We really haven't seen that changeup all that often.
Mentioned the 4 straight games with multiple hits for George. 7 of his last 10 games with multiple hits. He's got another one now as he lines one into left field. So Springer is 2 for 2. He's aboard for Carlos Correa.
This is how you do it. Bring those hands in, keep that barrel through it. Ball wasn't crushed, but still a good swing, and hits it hard enough to line it just in front of that left fielder. It was a good piece of hitting. And again, the strikeouts have been low for the Houston Astros here on this run too. They've been swinging the bats well.
Springer just kind of took care of that theory of getting in on him right there, as you say, pulled the hands in and got the barrel to it. And now Carlos Correa takes a shot, driving in run number 68 on the year with a sac fly to right field in the first inning. Took some fancy base running by Jose Altuve to get it done. We have learned that Brito in right field can throw.
Yeah, real quick. And he was one of the guys last night that had a rough night out there in right field. Tell you what, you speed up, get 2 outs in this inning, and you give up a base hit to Springer. You can have some 2-out lightning here pretty quick with Correa at the dish.
Gives you a great shot, doesn't it? Yeah, that
you
trio,
just don't feel like you're out of the inning.
That trio at the top, Altuve, Springer, and Correa, has really been performing well together.
Yeah, we hit on a little bit last night. The 21 runs scored, the Astros did that in a National League park with their leading home run and RBI guy sitting on the bench in Evan Gattis.
Ground ball on the fists of Correa. They'll get him to end the third inning. A hit as Springer is stranded. We played 2.5. It's 1-0 Stros on top.
'16 Astros season tickets are on sale now. Guarantee your seats for a potential 2015 postseason run by reserving your 2016 season tickets today. Visit Astros.com/season tickets or call 1-877-9-ASTROS.
Astros fans are everywhere these days.
There's a young Colby Rasmus on the left.
Didn't notice.
Good moss.
You saying Colby started to age a bit?
No.
Okay.
No, a young Colby Rasmus.
Jeremy Hellickson, the pitcher, leads it off in the third inning. And then the top of the order. Colin finds the strike zone. Diamondbacks have 1 hit. That came back in the first. Leadoff double by Socrates Brito. But he was stranded as Colin McHugh put it together, striking out Hill and Pollock. They then walked Paul Goldschmidt intentionally before getting Wellington Castillo to fly out. Took 20 pitches to get through that first inning, just 8 in the second. One and two the count. Angels beat the Rangers again, 11-10 today. Kansas City down Minnesota, and in the process dropped the Twins out of any possibilities now for postseason play. 5-1 the final there as Kansas City won it. Toronto Blue Jays leading at Tampa Bay 3-2 in the 9th inning. Pretty close pitch on the curveball. 3-2 the count. I'd say it was close. Lined into left field. So Hellickson gets an extra pitch to see and lines it for a base hit. Leadoff single, and now the top of the order.
It's so frustrating as a pitcher. You make a pitch, you don't get the call. Throw one more, and you end up giving up a knock to the pitcher.
Dave McKay, their longtime first base coach. Yeah, I agree. You make what in essence is a perfect pitch and can't get the call.
Well, we saw Dallas Keuchel battle through that last night too.
It was Brito with the double in the first. His third double now. 17th game in the big leagues. Hits it hard again to left field, but Tucker's there to make the play in the first out.
You might want to start making the adjustment and get in the kitchen of Brito.
Yeah. Both balls hit sharply in that direction.
Yeah.
It was Aaron Hill who was caught looking to strike out following the double by Brito in the first. A good veteran player for a long time. Came up with the Toronto Blue Jays in 2005. 11 years now in the major leagues for Hill. Came to the Diamondbacks in 2011. Line drive down the right field side. Springer dives and makes a great play. And if that ball gets by, that is easily extra bases, likely 3 down in the corner. So an enormous play defensively by George Springer.
Really hasn't been tested since coming back from the DL, but now you can see why he's such a bonus to have in the lineup just offensively, but what he can do defensively is pretty incredible too. Laying out nicely right here, picking up a big out for Colin McHugh. Think he's pumped about it?
That is a major play. Hellickson still at first base. Yeah, he's involved. A couple of hits tonight and that great play. A.J. Pollock at the plate, also a strikeout victim in the first. Everybody knows about Paul Goldschmidt. Whale of a player here for the Diamondbacks. But A.J. Pollock is one of those guys who slips by a lot of people, but has had a really good year. Plays a great center field. Attended Notre Dame. And a first-round draft pick by the Diamondbacks back in 2009. Fourth year in the major leagues. He's already a lifetime .293 hitter. Hits one to center field and pretty deep as Rasmus goes back. Tracking it and makes the catch, and that'll do it. 3 fly ball outs, highlighted by the great play by George Springer as the Diamondbacks fail to get on the board. 1-0 Houston. Led it off with a double and wound up scoring on a sac fly by Carlos Correa. We've seen some solid pitching by Colin McHugh. Great defense by George Springer. And it'll be 4-5-6 for Houston here in the fourth inning. Colby Rasmus, Luis Valbuena, and Chris Carter. Jeff Blum reporting that Max Scherzer might be dealing a no-no bid.
No, it's a fact. Through 7.
Washington leading 2-0 over the Mets. Hellickson continues to loosen up here. Not sure why the delay as we get set for the top of the fourth inning.
Got the base hit, running around the bases. He's a tired pitcher.
So you allow pitchers to be tired. That can slow the game down, right?
Well, got to recover.
You're right. They
don't get on the bases that much.
You are right. Colby Rasmus laid down a sacrifice bunt in the first inning. That with 1 out, so it was the second out leading to Luis Valbuena, who then struck out. Brian McTaggart taking credit for the fact that he said they won't win 89 this year. Talking about the Astros. Man, is he smart. They're hoping to win 87 right now, and 87 would ensure a berth in the postseason. Texas Rangers presently 87-74 after a really heartbreaking loss in Arlington today. Colby has the count at 2-1. That Max Scherzer outing for Washington against the Mets, and Matt Harvey in that one, who allowed 1 run, not even an earned run, as the Mets trail it 2-0. Scherzer having one of his kind of games, striking out 12 through 7. Has anybody even talked about Max Scherzer this year? And he's got an ERA at 2.82.
How about his, what is he pitching at 500? I think also.
He's got a whip under 1 at 0.93. Colby stays alive at 2-2. Rasmus, Valbuena, and Carter here in the fourth inning. Kind of a weird night where you almost have to lay back and see the Astros hopefully pick up a W and then size up where the final day of the season leads you. Pitch is rammed deep to right field, at the wall, and see ya. Colby Rasmus has his 24th long ball of the year. The Astros double up their lead. It's now 2-0 here in the fourth.
That's why we turned that bus around earlier today.
That's exactly right.
Make sure we pick this guy up. He's been swinging a pretty healthy bat too of late. He's been providing pop and big home runs all season long for the Houston Astros. A fine addition. Pretty happy, blowing some kisses. Got family in town, and there we go.
Well, Hank Conger's at it, huh?
Oh, here we go. That's the only reason to hit a home run right there is to get Conger to dance. It's some kind of special zombie robot in there. It's priceless.
So, you know, take what you see there from the dugout. That's what it feels like right about now. And the Astros, if anybody questions, do they have their hearts in it? Yeah. You make your own assessment. I would say they are having a great time winning some baseball games now and taking a shot at the postseason. Valbuena hooks one foul down the right field side. Ball and a strike on Luis. Been a long while, and people have said Just want to see the Astros play some meaningful baseball in September. Well, it's now October, and they are still playing meaningful baseball.
Does Colby have a sandwich named after him yet in Houston with some Colby Jack cheese on it?
Should, shouldn't he?
Man.
This one's hit hard to right field, but right there is Brito to make the play. First out of the inning.
There's another look at that Colby Jack. Got himself a breaking ball up out over the plate. Barrels it up and hits just an absolute laser out to right field. Good look at it. Head down on contact, through contact. A lot of his power generated with that upper body.
Chris Carter at the plate. Stroked a double down the left field side in the second inning as he led off. And was doubled up on a ball hit by Preston Tucker to right field immediately following. Carter tried to tag from second and move to third base, but a great throw from Brito and right nabbed Carter just prior to the bag. Yeah, 24 home runs from Colby Rasmus, and he hasn't played every day. What a valuable guy. Plays a great outfield wherever he's been placed. This one's ripped again down the left field side, and again a shot at a double for Carter. He'll cruise into second base. His second two-bagger of the night, 17th of the year. It comes with one out and brings up Preston Tucker.
That changeup grip, when you looked in the glove of Hellickson, wants that thing on the outside corner, but just drifts back into the barrel again of Chris Carter. It almost looks sometimes as if Chris Carter is just taking batting practice swings or just a warm-up hack, the way some of these pitchers are coming straight into his swing.
Pitching coach Mike Harkey out to the mound. He will dwarf everybody as he has a chat with the guys.
And he's saying, "You got to stop throwing those barrel finders."
I think there's a tendency to listen to a guy that big when he comes out.
Do you have a choice?
Probably not. Well, the Diamondbacks continue that meeting. Home plate umpire Jeff Nelson heading out that way to try to break things up. We're in the fourth inning, 2-0 Houston.
Whoa.
That's where the ball hit, huh? On Colby's
big time pop right there. Leave your mark.
Left no cheese behind.
So he's about a foot and a half away from ruining another dinner here.
Tucker 0 for 1 on the night. The Astros now with 6 hits. 4 of those for extra bases. Hellickson working very deliberately. Brings the 1-0. And it's 2-0. Of course, Preston Tucker in his rookie season hasn't had a lot of time against the Diamondbacks. 3 for 13 against them, scoring a run. Chops that curveball foul. It's 2-1. Preston hung out a line drive right back up the middle by the pitcher last night that was quite scary rather. Arizona now has a couple of arms loosening in their pen. Silvino Bracho and Keith Hessler getting it loose. Preston's hit 8 of his home runs on the road this year. Ground ball on the left side. They're going to get Carter easily at third base as he tries to run on a ground ball in front of him. And that just simply breaks the rules. So it's a fielder's choice for Tucker. And Carter erased 6-5.
Yeah, that was a bad decision. Make that ball be on your left before you take off. If that baseball is on your right side, you better be a burner. And Chris Carter, not a burner.
That's one of those lessons you're taught from very early stages. So no longer a man in scoring position for Castro. Jason hit it sharply as he lined to right field in the second.
Just ran yourself out of scoring position right there.
Batting average now at .212 for Castro. On base percentage .285. It has been one of those years where you grind and grind and grind and try to find it, and just been elusive. Out in front on the off speed. It's a ball and a strike. Tigers and White Sox in Chicago, tied at 2 in the 7th inning. Cleveland hosting the Red Sox. Tribe on top in the 6th inning. That's 2-0. Oakland immediately jumps on Seattle in the 1st inning. 3-zip there. And the Yankees have now caught the Orioles at 3 there in the 8th inning. In the 2nd of their doubleheader. ...2013 was the year that Castro made the All-Star team. Hit .276 that year. And had an on-base percentage at .350. So he did some very good stuff, along with hitting 18 home runs. Again, quite a deliberate pace on the ball game right now. 2-0 Houston. One more to play tomorrow. And the Astros want to do it with one more win under their belts. The Astros are yet to name their starting pitcher for tomorrow's game, a 2:10 start Central Time. Robbie Ray, 5-12, goes for the Diamondbacks. Colby Rasmus, home run number 24. Here goes Tucker. The bat goes flying. And the out is recorded. Castro down on strikes. And that'll do it. Colby Rasmus gives the Astros another tally here in the 4th inning as he launches number 24 on the year.
to work. No scores, no runs given up for Colin here today, and not a lot of base runners, which was very important and very key for Colin, for any pitcher really pitching in this particular ballpark with the climate and everything. AJ Hinch saying the walks and the errors can be very treacherous, and we saw it last night. The Astros taking advantage of some of the D-backs mistakes early in that game. But as far as McHugh, it's been a problem for him all year. He's always had a lot of traffic on base. He's gotten out of it a lot, but that has been really wearing on him mentally, he said. He's been able to get through it, and he showed a lot of character in some of the starts that he's had, but that is the key for him tonight as he looks to go deep into this one. Ash?
Yeah, thank you, Julia. And he just keeps winning down the stretch, and the Astros need him to keep up that trend. He and Dallas Keuchel teaming up to be a combination, as Blummer said, that really right now in terms of wins and losses unmatched in Major League Baseball.
And that looks good if you're going into a playoff situation. Get into a short series like an ALDS where it's the best 3 out of 5, and you can throw a 1-2 punch out there that almost have 40 wins under their belt. It's pretty good.
Set for the bottom of the 4th inning. 2-0 Houston. Cleanup man Paul Goldschmidt at the plate. Intentionally passed in the 1st inning. Colin was then, with runners at 1st and 2nd, able to get Wellington Castillo to fly out to end the inning. Ground ball left side. That's through the hole. Correa with that diving effort. Leadoff single by Goldschmidt here in the 4th.
One of those cutters that just backed up. Could gladly give up base hits to Goldschmidt, as opposed to how well he can drive the ball out of the ballpark here at Chase.
Castillo, the catcher, 0 for 1 on his night. In 79 games for the D-backs this year. Very close, but a ball called.
Yeah, good pitch.
Again, it's Jeff Nelson, the crew chief, behind the dish. Marlins and Phillies had a doubleheader today. In that first game, the Marlins won at 7-6. D. Gordon got to 200 hits for the Fish. And now 2-0, a couple of very close pitches.
Wow. Castro stuck that 1-2 and held on to it. There's a little conversation going on behind home plate. There's that first pitch on the outside corner, second pitch on the inside corner. Both great locations.
Christian Yelich had 5 hits in that Marlins win. And now 2-1. They're in the 4th inning of the 2nd game. Marlins lead at 3-1 over the Phillies. Giants have defeated the Rockies 3-2. Castillo just waves on that slow curve.
Good pitch by Colin. Dangle that carrot out there and then have it break away when that swing starts. Good pitch.
In that Giants win, Jake Peavy was supported with 3 home runs by the Giants. Peavy just 5 innings, but picked up a 5th consecutive win. As Castillo stays alive. Two count. Goldschmidt aboard with the base hit.
Good time for Colin McHugh to get a ground ball right here.
Strike 3 called, inside edge. So Colin paints it to get the strikeout. That's 4 on his night. 1 out for Jake Lamb.
Some kind of filthy Got the guts to come on that inside corner and throw that nasty cutter that breaks back over. Because I guarantee you, Wellington saw that pitch coming right at his front hip, gave up on it, and then that late cut. Great pitch.
Lamb 0 for 1 on the night. Lamb was the Diamondbacks minor league player of the year last year. Diamondbacks third in the National League in team batting average at .265. They lead in hits and second in runs in the league. Calling with a 1-1 count. They also run well. They're second in stolen bases. So they're a good offensive club, but that pitching side has come up short. They're ninth at a 4.04 ERA. Pitch hit hard to right field. Springer is there, almost comes in too far and makes the catch. 2 down in the 4th inning, and it brings up the powerful Peter O'Brien.
Left field, Peter O'Brien.
Good swing by Lamb. What a rocket. And here in Arizona, second most elevated ballpark in baseball, the ball kind of carries a little bit more. These line drives have a tendency to flatten out for a little bit longer.
Peter O'Brien struck out. He was the 3rd strikeout victim tonight for McHugh. Part of a 1-2-3 second inning. Tapper goes foul. There's that Yankees Orioles score.
Orioles trying to make it a sweep of that doubleheader today in Baltimore. Just to add to
the intrigue. What do you want to call it? You know, 2 losses today for the Yankees would give them 74. That's 1 less than the Astros, and
you are correct.
So somehow they creep into the picture unless the Astros win the division by tying the Rangers and then winning in a 1-game playoff with Texas in Arlington on Monday.
O'Brien's having a tough time staying back on that breaking ball from Colin McHugh. Punched out on it first at bat. McHugh getting ahead with it right here.
The Astros have simply had great success in interleague play this year. And the curveball gets him again. In the dirt, Castro fires on down to first to pick up the out. That'll do it. Still 2-0 Houston as we go to the 5th.
Possible 2015 Astros postseason games at Minute Maid Park. You won't want to miss the excitement of October baseball. Buy tickets at astros.com/postseason or call 1-877-9-ASTROS.
What are your playoff scenarios? One thing we can tell you is tickets are available. Can't tell you what's going to happen and when, but
well, the way it's going, you may want to get them.
Yeah. Monday could be with the Angels in Houston. Tuesday certainly could be with the Yankees. A lot going on. Stay tuned closely to figure out along with us exactly what might happen following tomorrow. Jeremy Hellickson starts things off to Colin McHugh. Hellickson has been falling behind on the hitters, and he's been behind 1-0 on 11 of the 17 hitters to this point. Mentioned the Astros with the best interleague record in baseball this year, 15-3. That's really the reason they are where they are right now. 10 games over 500. There's some tight slots on home plate right now. Colin McHugh flied to center field in the second. Pops it up on the infield. Behind home plate, Castillo with the play. And the first out here in the fifth.
Second baseman, Jose Altuve.
Well, you factor in that 12 games over for the Astros in interleague play, and that tells you everywhere else in the American League they're 2 games under 500. Jose Altuve picked up a double and scored a run in the first inning, grounded out to third in the third, so 1 for 2 on his night. Mentioned that D. Gordon with the Marlins has picked up 200 hits, that in the National League. Altuve trying to get there once again. Amazing 225 last year for Jose.
Just racking up hits.
Last night didn't hurt in the run differential for the Astros this year, as they won at 21-5. But the Astros enter tonight's play second best run differential in the American League, plus 109. Toronto Blue Jays have just run away and hid. They're at plus 231. Altuve with a 1-2 count and a bit of a sore foot or shin.
Yeah, he just fouled the ball off that front leg. Right off the inside of that ankle.
Yeah.
Yikes.
And does that hurt? The amazing part of that stat in the run differential is on the road. Altuve hooking one foul down the left side. Easy to figure out with the Astros' terrific home record this year. One that has them 53-28. That tied Toronto for the best record at home in the American League this year. But the Astros plus 86 at home. But despite the losing record on the road, 32-47, they're plus there. And Altuve has hammered one to left. Way back. See ya. There's another hit for Jose Altuve, number 197. And the long ball gives the Astros a 3-0 lead, number 15 on the year for Jose Altuve.
That pitch pretty much put on a tee by Hellickson for Altuve. Adding to that home run total. Astros as a team are second behind the Blue Jays in that OPS department. Both teams bash the baseball out of the ballpark, and there's the Conger Bob.
second Houston home run of the night. Second time Hank Conger and company have been able to enjoy that kind of celebration. George Springer 2 for 2, a couple of base hits tonight. I hope I said 3-0.
You just did.
Got it clear now if that was not what I said. Springer fouls it on the right side. It's a ball and a strike. But yeah, for me, it's kind of a go figure. The Astros on the road 32-47, 15 games under 500. And yet a plus 23 in terms of runs scored on the road. Ground ball left side. They're going to get him this time. Lamb throws him out. Second out here in the 5th inning. And now Carlos Correa comes to the plate.
Take a look back at Altuve's home run and watch where this pitch ends up. Just kind of seen this a couple times from Hellickson, missing on that arm side, just drifting back into the barrels of Houston Astros hitters. And over the last week or so, we have not seen too many Astros miss pitches that they know how to hammer. Getting that leg kick, loading up, foot down, and just take that barrel straight to the baseball and crush it. Little man with 15.
The Astros second in the major leagues in home runs. That's 229 now for the club. Carlos Correa with 22 of those home runs. Final now as the Orioles down the Yankees. So the Yankees are just a game in front of the Astros in the standings, and the Yankees have been kind of assumed to be that first wild card team. When it's all said and done, it may not play out that way unless the Yankees find a way to win tomorrow.
What a mess.
Correa has a 1-2 count.
How many hotel rooms are being reserved all over the country right now by traveling secretaries for the Astros, Yankees, Angels, Rangers?
Got to be a bunch.
Logistics are fun.
You know, at the start of play today, and I'll have to check what the Blue Jays did, but Toronto was at 229 home runs. The Astros are now at that same figure. We'll check and see what Toronto's done in terms of the long ball today. Guys have had fun in the dugout throughout the course of the year with home runs. Edwin Encarnacion has hit the only home run for Toronto, so they're one ahead at 230. His 39th, by the way. They're trying to have 3 guys with 40 plus. Correa down on strikes. That'll do it. Jose Altuve does some flexing here in the 5th inning. It's 3-0 Houston. Now at southwest.com. Chase Field here in Phoenix, Arizona. 3-0. The Astros lead it. A couple of long balls. Colby Rasmus and Jose Altuve, numbers 24 and 15 respectively. 8, 9, and 1 coming up for the Diamondbacks here in the 5th inning. Chris Owings leads it off. Bill Gosselin waits with the bat on deck. He will pinch hit for Jeremy Gullickson. Ground ball to the right side. Altuve to his left. And he's been on a heck of a string defensively. 49 consecutive errorless games.
Now for the Toyota drive to the playoffs. Some interesting things happening before and during the Astros game this evening. Yankees lose 2 in a doubleheader to the Baltimore Orioles. Angels keep fighting away, trying to stay on the heels of the Houston Astros, and the Rangers, they're trying to make this thing interesting. Just keep gaining on them. It's a lot of similar numbers right there.
Yeah, I would say it has become very interesting, maddening at times. Max Scherzer, by the way, has picked up a no-hitter for the Washington Nationals, and also, by the way, his 2nd of the year. There have been 7 no-hitters in Major League Baseball this year. There's somebody to remember the first one. Chris Heston of the San Francisco Giants against the Mets. Correa with the play. A couple of ground ball outs here in the 5th inning, as Colin McHugh is trying to make best with a 3-0 lead.
We show these scenarios before the game. We'll show them to you again. The AL West is up for grabs if Astros can win out, going 2-0. Texas loses tomorrow. That will finish them up tied for that AL West division title in the wild card berth. If the Astros go 2-0 and Texas beats the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, and then there could possibly be a wild card play, and Astros go 1-1 and the Angels win that game tomorrow. Possibilities galore.
Yeah, that one in the middle there, I'm told, could be a home game for the Astros against the Yankees.
Yeah, they won the season series against the Yankees.
2 outs here in the 5th inning. So Hellickson done with his night. As Brito grounds out, 3 ground ball outs for Colin McHugh, and a nice tidy 5th inning. We've played 5. Astros lead it.
possible 2015 Astros postseason games at Minute Maid Park. You won't want to miss the excitement of October baseball. Buy tickets at astros.com/postseason or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. Some of those postseason games could be at Minute Maid Park. A lot of things still up in the air, but there are games you can purchase tickets for now. Just check out /postseason there. So many things could happen. We're having a lot of fun with this today. We'll see what happens tonight and as well tomorrow. But as far as the Astros ending their regular season on the road and even in a National League ballpark, so they're dealing with some interesting atmospheres. Seattle's where they were before this, a very quiet ballpark. Fans not really coming out earlier in the week. Same thing here with Arizona. So the guys were talking about how they kind of have to create their own playoff atmosphere. They don't really care what's going on in the stands, but as far as their dugout, they just make it feel like it's Minute Maid Park, where they've played very well. And guys, you've watched Hank Conger and everything else that's going on after these home runs. They're making it a lot of fun, keeping themselves loose, which is important, especially if they head into that postseason.
Thanks, Julia. It's certainly working right now. Colby Rasmus leads it off. He's been a big part of the 3-0 lead. Hit a home run in the 4th inning, his 24th on the year, solo job. He's also laid down a sacrifice bunt, so 1 for 1 on the night. Colby now with 60 RBIs on the year. Left-hander Keith Hessler is on the mound. 26-year-old in his first year in the big leagues and just his 18th major league game. Colby has been prone to the long ball. He's allowed 4 in 11 2/3 innings. Talking about the no-hitter of Max Scherzer today. Chris Heston got that no-hit stuff all started back in June 9th against the New York Mets. Max Scherzer followed with his first on the year. He beat the Pittsburgh Pirates. Cole Hamels, Hisashi Iwakuma, Mike Fiers, Jake Arrieta, and now Max Scherzer again, all with home runs. As Rasmus is caught looking.
Third baseman, Luis Valbuena.
High cheese. Good pitch.
Got to bring up Valbuena. Another lefty versus lefty scenario. Valbuena has struck out and flied out. Been a year of good defense from Valbuena. And the long ball. 25 home runs.
The Astros, with Altuve hitting that 15th home run, have 7 guys with 15+ home runs.
Again, one back to the Toronto Blue Jays, who really slam it for the major league leadership. It's pretty close to that top of the strike zone area.
Yeah, I wonder if it was a makeup for the pitch before. Valbuena wasn't happy about that second strike being called.
Two and two now. 37,687 on hand for tonight's game. Rather impressive when you consider the Diamondbacks are 12 games out of first place behind the Dodgers. 78 and 82.
It is Hispanic Heritage Night here in Arizona. That's why both teams are wearing the Los Astros and Los D-backs uniforms. Some street festivities going on before the game, and it looks like they all found their way in. It's a good sign.
Line drive, but right at Aaron Hill at second. Second out of the inning. And it brings up Chris Carter, who's doubled twice on the evening. And that's going to do it for Kessler. Diamondbacks go to the bullpen, 3-0 Houston. We'll be right back.
AT&T called to the bullpen. Silvino Bracho is on for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Right-hander making his 13th appearance. Yet to tally a win or loss. No holds on the season, but a pretty good ERA of 1.50 in those 12 innings pitched with 17 punch-outs. Got a fastball around 93 miles an hour, has a slider and a changeup to go with that.
23 years of age, out of Venezuela. Signed in as an amateur free agent in 2011. Rookie status intact. 13th game in the big leagues, as Blummer was saying. Carter swinging it well, hits one deep down the right field side, and a long run for Brito, can't quite get there. Chris Carter doubled in the second, doubled in the fourth inning, and twice has been thrown out on the bases. Bracho has allowed a couple of home runs in his 12 innings of work. Oh, and 2 on Chris. Carter now has that batting average right at 200. Taking a push for Chris. Pops it up on the right side. Goldschmidt into foul territory. And that'll do it. A 1-2-3 6th inning. Through 5.5. Astros on top, 3-0.
Here at Chase Field, where they have lots of delicious ballpark food items, including the Sonoran dog that we tried yesterday. But how about this one? This is the churro dog, a sweet treat. It's the Long John donut, the churro, whipped cream with frozen yogurt, chocolate, caramel syrup. I cannot wait to get at this one. This is probably my favorite, and I haven't even tried it yet, guys.
Looks pretty darn good, Julia.
That looks real good.
I'm gonna hand that to you. She gets all the tough assignments.
Somebody's got to do it.
Two-hitter Aaron Hill leads it off here in the 6th inning, followed by A.J. Pollock and then Paul Goldschmidt, a big part of the order to get through. Colin falls behind with that slow curveball. Aaron Hill, a 2-time Silver Slugger Award winner. Once with the Toronto Blue Jays, that in 2009, and also with these Diamondbacks a few years back. Two-hopper to third, Valbuena with the play, and the first out in the 6th. Got some defensive changes now for the Astros as Jake Marisnick comes on to play center field. That pushes Colby Rasmus into left, taking over for Preston Tucker.
Kind of an interesting move for me, just because Marisnick will be the hitter leading off. There was a right-handed pitcher last time that inning ended, so you're wondering if Tucker's okay.
I guess my first thought was, does that say that maybe AJ went in with a game plan that in the 6th inning he was going to run his best defense out there in a close ball game? I don't know. Hard to tell.
Well, I think that might be the primary, but just the way the batting order lined up makes it a little curious for me.
Yeah, it does. Colin McHugh has kept the Diamondbacks off the scoreboard. A.J. Pollock trying to bunt his way aboard here in the 6th. Mention again, Max Scherzer with another no-hitter today, is 2nd on the season. He's quite a talent. Got away from the Detroit Tigers, pitching for Washington. And another one of the reasons I thought the Nationals were just going to run away and hide this year.
Yeah, with him and that pitching staff, everybody thought that, I think.
And yet the Nationals start play today 8 games back of the Mets. Cardinals they win the National League Central. Pirates and Cubs both get into the postseason. The Dodgers win the West. And the Giants do not get into the dance this year, but it is that odd numbered year, and they have been winning on the even numbered years. Toronto Blue Jays win in the East in the American League, and the Yankees trying to hang on and win a first wild card spot. The Astros would love to see that slip away. Another loss tomorrow could provide that for the Yankees. Kansas City wins going away in the American League Central, 10 games over Minnesota, who up until today still had a shot. And then there's the American League West. And it's all about the Texas Rangers, the Houston Astros, and the LA Angels, who just don't want to go away. That's down the left field corner. And extra bases for Pollock. He's 1 for 3 as he has a double, standing at second base. Comes with 1 out and brings up Paul Goldschmidt.
Did a good job staying on the breaking ball from Colin McHugh. Again, we've seen some breaking balls in this game for both pitchers, backing up out over the middle of the plate and 2 strikes. Those are good pitches to hit. Pollock continuing to have a good finish to his strong year.
39 doubles on the year for the Arizona center fielder. And now a tough spot with Goldschmidt at the plate. He's been walked intentionally in the 1st inning and then singled in the 4th. A good slow curveball from McHugh. Mentioned the Diamondbacks like to run and do it successfully, and the big reason is A.J. Pollock. 38 stolen bases this year as he edges from second. 38 bags and caught just 7 times. The big man for the Diamondbacks, Paul Goldschmidt, and we've mentioned many times from the Woodlands area. .31 home runs for Goldschmidt. Got him on the curve. Colin McHugh just pulls the string on that breaker. Second out of the inning. That's 6 strikeouts for Colin.
Nice big breaking ball. Took a little bit of velocity off that one and kind of floated it in there. We're going to take a look at Colin McHugh and his pitch usage. That last start out got real heavy on that cutter, but I think it has a lot to do with the confidence and his ability to locate it on both sides of the plate. Saw a couple strikeouts. One of them was on Wellington Castillo on that cutter on the inside corner. Just locked him up, froze him. But that's a guy in Colin McHugh that has good command of 3 quality pitches.
And now 2 outs as the catcher Castillo stands in. It's kind of an intriguing set of numbers there because Colin relies on the cutter and the curveball, and both pitches that Diamondbacks have done well against. Goes right back to the Yacker. Castillo has flied out and struck out looking. McHugh got him in the 4th inning. A little front door cutter right on that inside corner. The Astros trying to drop 2 consecutive losses on the D-backs. Team who was playing well. They had won 4 straight coming into this series. Curveball does find the strike zone. 1-2 the count.
Not that sharp snap we're used to seeing, but enough to lock up Castillo and get the call.
Something about that hanger that stays up and in that'll lock you up a lot of times.
You usually flinch at it, but you just can't pull the trigger.
Rammed into center field. That's a base hit. And that's going to bring home the first Arizona run of the night as Pollock comes in. So 2 hits in the inning, and the Diamondbacks on the board. It's now 3-1 Houston. And Jake Lamb comes to the plate.
Third baseman, Jake Lamb.
Sure, it almost looked like Colin overthrew a breaking ball right there. Slipped out of his hand and just hung, floating out over the middle of the plate. Good piece of hitting.
Castillo with 55 RBIs now. Well, it's a 2-run game here in the 6th inning. Jake Lamb 0 for 2. Lined out to right, hit it sharply in the 4th inning. Home runs and pitching, really the story for the Astros this year. They continue first in the American League in ERA as a team. Line drive dropping into left field for a base hit. 3rd hit of the inning is Lamb singles. Stopping at second, Castillo, and it brings up Peter O'Brien.
Again, see the location Castro setting up. He won that ball away. Ball comes in. Ball wasn't hit hard by any means, but just good job of fighting it off by Lamb.
Brent Strom now comes out to the mound. The Astros pen is quiet.
Only 78 pitches for Colin here in the 6th with 2 outs. This might just be a little pep talk, calm him down a little bit, help him understand that if he can execute his pitches against Peter O'Brien, he should get out of this inning.
Peter O'Brien has struck out twice tonight, and he's been susceptible to that off-speed breaking ball. But we saw last night the kind of power this young man possesses. The other thing the Astros have done well as a team this year, their fielding percentage is 3rd best in the league. And that always factors in nicely for the pitching side of the game. McHugh gets in front. The Astros have needed 13 starting pitchers over the course of the season. Ball and a strike. The guys in double digits in terms of starts made this year: Keuchel, McHugh, McCullers, Feldman, Kazmir, and Roberto Hernandez. If you've forgotten about him, he appeared in 20 games, 11 as a starter for Houston. And now 2-1. Big moment in the ball game. Colin McHugh trying to get through this 6th. Ground ball left side. Altuve's there with the shift on. Makes a good throw and gets his man, and that'll do it. The Diamondbacks do put a run on the board. They had 3 hits and strand a pair. Through 6, 3-1 Houston. For possible 2015 Astros postseason games. You can do it at Minute Maid Park. You won't want to miss the excitement of October baseball. Buy tickets at Astros.com/postseason or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. And now as we look at what potentially could come up at Minute Maid Park, and Jeff Blum's got it all figured out. What do you got, Blummer?
Should by now. We've seen it, huh? Check it out. Potential tiebreaker against the Angels on Monday. Potential wild card the way the Yankees are going on Tuesday. And if you get into the ALDS, those games will be on Sunday and Monday, the 11th and 12th of October. So get on it. Make the reservation. Get your tickets. Get out there. You never know.
Houston Astros playing really good baseball right now down the stretch and doing it on the road. And that could prove to be very valuable as if they're able to get that shot to play postseason baseball. Jake Marisnick leads it off, came on defensively. And as Blummer was talking about, batting in that spot where Preston Tucker would otherwise have been at the plate. Ball and a strike on Jake. One of the guys that would love to slip into that double-digit home run club. Lines one in the left field corner. That's been a popular spot tonight. Marisnick sprints around first into second. Leadoff double. And how the Astros could use a little insurance here in the seventh.
It's their third leadoff double of the game.
Catcher, Jason Castro.
It's number 15 on the year for Jake.
Yeah, those balls we're seeing ripped into that left field corner, and there have been quite a few, just hanging breaking balls out over the plate. Hitters are quick enough to get around them.
And we check in with Julia.
Thanks a lot, Ash. Yeah, Jason Castro is one of those guys that you go to kind of get a feel for how the clubhouse is feeling. And he was talking about how yesterday's game, the 21 runs, a statement game really for this team as they tried to work their way into the postseason. He's like, this is why you play. It's one of the most exciting seasons for a lot of us in our entire career. And this was the goal 5-6 years ago when we were drafted, when we became Houston Astros and a part of this organization. So exciting times for these guys, Ash.
And a big at bat, Julia, for Jason Castro, and he shoots one through the right side. That will easily score Marisnick. And there's a bit of insurance. RBI single Castro. It's back to a 3-run ball game. 4-1 Houston here in the seventh. And still nobody out. Colin McHugh a chance to come to the plate and maybe lay down a bunt.
A lot of chatter going on in that dugout, but a great piece of hitting from Jason Castro. And if you think he doesn't realize the importance of these ball games right now, you think back to what he's done over the last tenure he has had, or the last couple of years he's had with the Houston Astros. He has lost quite a few ball games, battling his way through, being the catcher for the Houston Astros. That's a guy that wants to be in the postseason. He's earned the right to be in the postseason.
And as we guessed, McHugh trying to bunt, fouls it off.
This isn't exactly how you're going to teach it in spring training, but it's a start.
Oh, and 1 the count. Altuve waiting on deck. And the bunt on the first base side goes foul. 0-2 on Colin, and you would guess probably he stays with the bunt here.
Yes, please.
You don't want to change your order at this point, huh?
I just would hate for him to barrel up a nice 2-hopper to the shortstop right here.
Put it in the air a couple of times tonight, flying to center and popping to the catcher. But a sacrifice bunt would play very nicely. Jason Castro has not been a part of that Houston Astros running game this year, has not stolen a single bag.
He's on Delgado's radar for some reason.
McHugh gets it down in front of the plate. Castillo with a play, throws it into center field, and everybody's safe. They tried to get Castro at second base and would have had him with a good throw, but Castillo saw it slip right on by the bag into center. So a sacrifice and an E2.
Second baseman, Jose Altuve.
They did have a shot. That ball bounced on one hop to Castillo. I'm not too sure that Owens I think he had a shot at catching this ball and picking up his catcher. But the throw kind of tailing into the runner. Owens kind of alligator armed that one. Tough error.
So now Chip Hale, the skipper of the Diamondbacks, out to the mound with the entire infield. And they will huddle. Runners at first and second. Nobody out to run in here in the inning. And the Astros would love to find a way to just break this thing open. Top of the order, Altuve, Springer, and Correa coming up. Back in the fifth inning for Altuve. He got really strong.
Got himself a hanging fastball and he pummeled it. 15th on the season. No doubter. And he just did it for that special Conger bot dance. There's incentive everywhere when you hit bombs.
Sure, there's more to be had in that Astros dugout. 2 home runs on the night for the club. 229 on the season. Altuve 2 hits tonight. Now 3 shy of that mark. Trying to get to 200 on the year. And there's Randall Delgado, who started things here in the inning and still hasn't gotten an out.
He's got that going for him.
He's been a workhorse in that bullpen.
Altuve kills me, man. He hit his 15th home run. And then when we've seen 2 of the ugly swings maybe we've seen all season from Altuve.
It's kind of part of his game, isn't it?
He doesn't look like he's trying to hit that 16th.
Not on that one, no. He's trying to stay alive to get there, though.
With 1 strike.
Yeah. 0-2 the count. What do you think of that power game that he's developed this year?
Well, he won the batting title last year. Why not go out there and prove he can hit some bombs too? Still got the batting average at 312.
He's got an OPS right about at 800 right now.
It's a good number.
Yeah. Carlos Correa leads the Astros in OPS. Start of play today, 868. Springer follows. And then it's Jose Altuve. So, those are your leaders in the clubhouse at the moment. Even Colby Rasmus, with his now 24 home runs, is shy of that mark. Two and 2 on Jose. 9 Houston hits. Trying to win number 86. Shortstop Owings comes into the mound. There's Colby, and he's launched tonight. And really an ideal night for a ball game here in Phoenix. Rangers beaten today by the Angels. Dramatic fashion. 5 runs in the 9th inning by the Angels. And Altuve gets a piece again. he hurting with that ball he fouled off the ankle earlier?
Yeah, he's been wearing that front leg out.
You get it again right here?
Might have. Grimacing like he did.
Leadoff double by Jake Marisnick got this inning started. Altuve, it's a ground ball to third. They'll try to get the double play and do. And Altuve barely able to move it on down that first base line. So he's hurt. Into third base is Castro, but now 2 outs as Springer stands in.
Right fielder George Springer.
Those foul balls going off that leg are not making Altuve happy at all.
Second double play turned by the Diamondbacks tonight. First on a ground ball. George Springer had hits in each of his first 2 at-bats tonight. 1 in the first, 1 in the third, then grounded out to third in the 5th inning. The Astros can ill afford to have a hobbling Jose Altuve from this point on.
Yeah, hopefully it's just a little bit of a bone bruise. Shake it off, ice it down.
George Springer continuing that string of multi-hit games now, 5 in a row. Got that string started with the first game in Seattle. Had 7 hits in that Seattle series. 2 more hits last night. Scored 4 runs for the Stros.
It's a lot of Astro hitters that are comfortable in that Safeco field.
That's something.
It's pretty impressive.
George lets it fly. It's 2-2. That was a big 2 out of 3 for the Astros to take. Go out on the road. Everybody talking about how poorly the team has played on the road. Now 3-2 on George. Castro down at third base. 2 outs, a run in here in the 7th. And ball 4, so Springer reaches for a 3rd time tonight. And now Carlos Correa shot to pick up his first hit of the night. The Astros could really use that.
Shortstop Carlos Correa.
By the way, congratulations to Will Harris and his wife Caroline. Had their 2nd child, first son, Jack Benton, born on Wednesday.
Good for the Harris family. Could be a celebratory week the way things are going.
Carlos hitting .281. Driven in a run tonight with a sac fly. That came back in the 1st inning. The Astros jumped right on top 1-0. Added 1 in the 4th inning on the home run by Rasmus. 1 more in the 5th on the home run by Altuve. And then getting 1 in the 7th inning after that leadoff double by Marisnick. coming in and scoring on the base hit by Castro. Springer does have 15 stolen bases. Kansas City ran Minnesota out of that playoff hunt today. 5-1. The Royals won that one. Tampa Bay came back to beat the Toronto Blue Jays 4-3. White Sox stopped the Tigers 4-3 final in Chicago. Indians shut out Boston 2-0. Oakland leading 4-3 over Seattle in the 5th inning. And again, the Yankees dropping a pair today. One and two, and this big crowd in Arizona having a good time. Springer goes. The pitch is low. No throw down. So another stolen base for George Springer. Number 16 on his season. And now 2 runners in scoring position and a 2-2 count on Correa.
Nice with a base hit beat right here. Astros 2 for 6 on the night with runners in scoring position. They've been doing a great job at it on this road trip. They were decent at it last night. It was a scuffle, but managed to push across 21.
Battle to get there, I guess, huh?
Man.
Correa gets tied up and fouls it back. Stays at 2-2. Cincinnati Reds won 3-1 over the Pirates. And now a 3-2 count. Colby Rasmus is on deck.
Still can't get over the quality of that bats that Carlos Correa has. 21 years old, pennant race, down to the wire. He's hitting 3-hole. And still continues to put up these great at bats.
Down on strikes as Delgado gets in. And that'll do it. The Astros managed just 1 in the 7th inning. Through 6.5. 4-1 Houston. There's Jose Lima in that 97 through 2001 span where they won 4 times. Bill Garner skippered the ball club into their first playoff series win in franchise history in 04 and then again in 05. On to the World Series. They eventually lost to Jeff Blum's White Sox. But it was good stuff. 9 playoff seasons for the club, 6 division titles, 1 league championship. Jeff Bagwell, a big part of a lot of that, as was Craig Biggio and so many other greats who have played with the Astros through the years. Just a lot of fun with the guys. That guy, I don't know what's going on with that fella, but
showing off.
He was a part of 3 postseasons with the Astros. Never got as far as those other guys, though.
This is my favorite picture ever.
Did they paint those pants on?
Did you know they were taking a picture of you then?
Oh, I really can't even respond to you.
Oh, you know.
That's a great pose.
Yeah, isn't that something? Stick your thumbs in your waistband and
flex.
Hashtag Crush City right there.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks.
Well played.
Yeah. You guys just busted me right there. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning, 4-1 Houston. Julia Morales leads by a larger margin tonight. Colin McHugh working into the 7th, facing the 8, 9, and 1 spots. Ground ball back up the middle. Correa glides to his left, and the first out here in the inning. Jared Saltalamacchia was out in the on-deck circle, but he's being pulled back. And so the Diamondbacks will bring on Drury, Brandon Drury, who played in last night's game. Hitting .218. This is the pitcher spot. And Brent Strom comes out to the mound. It's not a game that has just flied along, but there's Will Harris, the new dad. Again, his second child, born just a couple of days ago. Will Harris gets it loose now for the possibilities here in the 7th. Brandon Drury, the pinch hitter, hitting .218. A couple of home runs on his season. Just his 20th game, so pretty good numbers. Pops it up down the right side. Carter into foul territory, and now Altuve takes over and makes a play and hobbles as he goes beyond on that play. So Jose's hurting, but comes up with the second out. And now the leadoff man, Socrates Brito, will come to the plate.
It's a good play by Jose Altuve, hauling around that ankle weight of a bruise on that left ankle.
Brito's 1 for 3 with a double back in the first inning. That was his third 2-bagger. Colin McHugh at 87 pitches. So he's in a really good spot. Has a 1-1 count on the leadoff man for the Diamondbacks. And this one is crushed to right. And it's a foul ball. Just outside the foul pole and way out of here.
Yeah, that ball was well struck. Rearrange a couple of letters in his last name and it spells orbit because that's where that ball was put.
Brito trying to hit his first home run ever in the major leagues. Just his 17th game, and he crushed that one. Showing us a very good throwing arm, accurate as well. Lines one to center field. Marisnick is there and makes the play. And a 1-2-3 7th inning for Colin McHugh. It is 4-1 as we look at a little ugly history of the Houston Astros. Here that with a little chat from AJ Hinch that Colin is done for the night, leading 4-1. So he's put the Astros in a great spot here in game 161 on the year. The Diamondbacks go to the bullpen once again, bring on left-hander Matt Reynolds.
Making his 18th appearance on the season. 13 2/3 innings pitched, 18 strikeouts. Giving up 5 bombs, though.
Now our Mako big hit of the game as we turn back to Colby Rasmus and that home run he hit back in the 4th inning, number 24. And he apparently has some fans outside of and in the dugout that he's had some good times with. He's had Hank Conger and company dancing a couple of times tonight. Rasmus 1 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt. Hank's just loosening up for further party time, I think.
Shaping up to be a pretty good one.
One and 2 now on Colby. That batting average for Rasmus at .236. Jed Lowry is now out on deck. And Lowry unable to make the starting lineup the last couple of nights. This one's hit hard right center field. Back at the wall. Watch it. Number 2 on the night for Colby Rasmus. 25 on the year. And a little more insurance. It's 5-1 Houston.
Left on left attack from Colby Rasmus. Second homer on the night. All kinds of good things happening for Colby and these Houston Astros.
That's beautiful. That's a team that's loose right now. And Colby Rasmus, 25 home runs. Chip Hale comes out to the mound. So the lefty Williams unable to get that left-handed bat he was sent out there to get. Jed Lowry pinch hitting for Luis Valbuena kind of changes things around. And so the Diamondbacks go to the pen once again, but it's 5-1 now. Astros on top.
7,687. The Houston Astros and the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Hasn't he, though? A couple of slices of Colby Jack cheese on that sub you're working with right here. You need a sub to go get this baseball. Ends up in the pool out there in right center field. Splash down. Just in case you're wondering where it ends up, there it is.
Oh, that's a heck of a job staying on that breaking ball from the lefty.
Man, that was a real good swing.
So Jed Lowry is now the pinch hitter for Valbuena. We're in the 8th inning. Diamondbacks bring in David Hernandez, their 6th pitcher of the night. Hernandez came up originally with Baltimore, but has spent parts of the last 4 years now with the Diamondbacks. Luis Valbuena went 0 for 3 on his night. Ten Houston hits, 3 home runs, 230 on the year now for the Astros, and that ties the Toronto Blue Jays for the most long balls on the year. And Lowry coaxes the walk. Still nobody out, and Chris Carter comes to the plate.
For the Astros, just keep piling on. There it is. Some Colby Jack. That's a large double portion of it tonight, too. Well deserved.
Chris Carter's 2 for 3, had doubles in his first 2 at bats. I wonder if there's some gulping going on in Arlington, Texas.
Either that or that's the sound of the ice machine clunking around, because there's some sore arms in that Rangers bullpen.
I counted it earlier today. I believe each team, the Angels and Rangers, used 9 pitchers today.
Well, I think I saw something too that said Dyson and Tollison had pitched in 5 or 6 games in a row.
I believe 5 in a row is what I think I heard from Tollison. Off the body of the pitcher. Carter's thrown out at first base, but safely into second is Lowry with 1 out. And Jake Marisnick comes to the plate. And that, plain and simple, was a double play ground ball.
Yeah, it was.
Well, the Diamondbacks discuss things.
Well, the follow through, David Hernandez is a guy that throws hard, but you can see he's not squared up to home plate. So it made it kind of tough to reach back across his body to catch that ground ball. Wasn't hit that hard.
By the way, we mentioned Chris Carter at the 200 mark tonight. On August 26th, he was hitting 179.
That's incredible.
Pretty good little charge there down the wire. Jake Marisnick, a double in his only at bat of the night. That came in the 7th inning. Jake hitting .238. Lines it foul to the seats. Washington Nationals won a doubleheader over the Mets today, and a no-hitter in that second one by Max Scherzer. Scherzer with 2 of the 7 no-hitters in Major League Baseball this year. Pitch gets on by to the backstop, and everybody's going to be safe. So Marisnick strikes out, but reaches on however they rule it. And into third base is Lowry.
Catcher Jason Castro.
Turbo slider, and it looks like Castillo just boxed that one.
I'd call that a pass ball myself.
I agree.
And now Jason Castro at the plate, and we see Evan Gattis with a bat waiting on deck. That's Colin McHugh's spot in the order. Of course, Colin, it's already been determined in the dugout that he's done with his night. So Evan looking to get one opportunity to swing it here. Castro jumps away and takes a strike. Another strong outing by Colin McHugh.
Pretty efficient evening too. Only 91 pitches in those 7 innings.
The Astros trying to have a 20-game winner and a 19-game winner. Colin McHugh could win his 19th if the Astros can hang on tonight. Running from first is Marisnick. He's got a stolen base. Uncontested.
Hernandez has a good slider. Jake Marisnick picking a good pitch to run on. Castro can't hold up.
That's 23 stolen bases for Jake. It's not a bad figure at all.
The quiet 23.
Altuve leads the club with 38, and then Marisnick is next. One and two the count.
I was playing here in Arizona when Hernandez broke into the scene and What an electric arm. He'd come out throwing 96 to 98 miles an hour and just save that slider for that 2-strike count to just overpower guys. But he was a lot of fun to watch.
Gets the strikeout on Castro. He's caught looking on that inside edge. That's the second out of the inning. And now Evan Gattis will be the pinch hitter.
It's a perfectly located heater.
Pinch hitting for Colin McHugh. Number 11, Evan Gattis.
See where it is on our strike zone. Comes back and catches a big part of that inside corner.
Big guy Mike Harkey out to the mound once again.
Quick scouting report on Evan Gattis for David Hernandez.
What is that scouting report? Don't leave it up in the beard. Oh dear. Oh dear. We've started something big, haven't we?
Oh, you better believe it. These are going to start coming out of the archives. This is beautiful.
What are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Apparently there's a lot of extra time in that.
Oh, the internet is a beautiful thing, Ash.
Yeah.
Make sure you hashtag your hashtag.
Check out the hair on that dude.
Nobody's looking at the hair.
I don't get it. Evan Gattis. It's his first plate appearance here in the series. Oh, and 1 the count on Evan. What have we got here?
Oh, look
Yes.
at that.
Yeah, baby.
Jeez.
Bring Blummer in on the action.
That is a young Jeff Blum right there. Holy cow.
Les Paul.
Yep.
Is your hair blonde under that hat?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have to think
Look
of
at
a
those
hashtag.
eyes. Those eyes say, I'm going to crush somebody here very soon. Fastball's up and in.
That kid loved the game of baseball right there, Ash.
Yeah. Those were some seriously dangerous eyes. Smile for the camera. Not a chance.
Oh, I was mad mugging.
Take your base. Evan Gattis hit by the pitch. And that will load him up.
I hope he's okay.
There is no chance to get a triple when that happens.
Second baseman, Jose Altuve.
What does this get a piece of?
I'm not sure. Might have caught a thread on that belt loop. It's a big man getting thin real quick.
So that will load him up. It's 5-1. But it's not comfy yet. Jose Altuve is 2 for 4 in his night, hitting .311. Got a double and a dinger. Scored a pair. Looking for hit number 198. He's scuffling with that ankle area that he's hit the baseball on tonight, but
How does he not have a shin guard on that thing?
I wonder if he and AJ have talked, and Altuve said, not a chance. Don't you dare take me out of this thing. Slider stays in. Marisnick at second, Gattis at first, and the lead runner Jed Lowry.
I think Twitter is breaking with pictures of Ashby.
Uh-oh. Altuve has a very good swing as he fouls it back. That's not a good thing at all.
You're going viral, Ash.
It's got to stop. Fastball up and in, and that gets a piece of Altuve. He's hit by the pitch. That'll plate another run and make it 6-1. And hopefully everything's fine with Altuve in that left wrist area.
He's been getting beat all over the place, hasn't he?
Kind of a tough way to pick up insurance.
Oh, man. Catching that left hand. Might have caught the umpire on that one a little bit, too. Right in the chest. It got home plate umpire Jeff Nelson. Nobody safe.
2 big runs in here in the inning. And Altuve being attended to down at first base. Chip Hale has come out and chatted briefly with the home plate umpire.
Well, on the replays that we've been seeing, it looks like it could have gotten the knob of the bat. Pretty good acting job maybe by Altuve. They're going to go over and check it out on the replay, but to be determined.
Altuve indicating, I think, to A.J. Hinch that Yad got him on the hand.
Because right there, it looks like it does get part of the knob.
It sure does. He's either hurt right there or looking for an Academy Award.
Doesn't look like he's one of those hitters that hangs off his pinky off the knob of the bat. Saw Carlos Lee one year get hit on a similar pitch like that and absolutely destroyed that bottom hand pinky, put him out for the season. But what are you looking for if you're in New York? Are you looking, I mean, because I would imagine Jeff Nelson would have heard it ricochet off the wood bat, making it sound like a foul ball. But I'm not sure if replay is going to be able to overturn this.
Josh Colementor, by the way, throwing in the pen for the Diamondbacks as they continue this review. And I'm with you. I don't know what you're going to see there that is going to change anything. How can anybody look at that and say, well, it did not hit the hand at all? So they continue that review. The Astros 6 runs on 10 hits tonight. They've left 5. The Diamondbacks 1 run on 6 hits and 1 error. They've left 6. Colin McHugh in a position to win his 19th of the year. And most importantly, the Astros trying to win number 86 against 75 losses. And it is a hit batter. So it is 6-1. And Altuve with 2 RBIs on his night, 66 on the season.
Oh, yeah. I'm not sure we have enough time left in this broadcast to get all these shots in.
Yeah. This has got to stop.
Oh, these are great. You and Gar.
Oh, we did a little
commercial.
A little commercial work together, yeah.
That's the one.
There's the rookie card.
Oh, the trademark on that upper lip.
It looks like something might be going on internally there that's not good. 5-run lead for Houston. We'll be right back. And the skip and his Astros are leading here in the 8th inning 6-1 and trying to add to it. Bases loaded.
Wait a minute. Hang on.
That right here. Focus on that lovely hat.
No.
Could you explain that?
Yeah, it was a Kilgore College Rangerette.
What? That is awesome.
That's very nice.
I was on my dance team. How did I get thrown into this?
I'd like to know how I got thrown into it, but George Springer has a chance to make something really big happen here now as Josh Colmentor comes in. Floats that changeup up and away. Bases juiced. Springer is 2 for 3. Couple of singles. He's grounded out and drawn a walk. Stole his 16th bag of the year. One and one the count. These photos have got to stop. This is
Yeah, I'm a little distracted right now. I apologize.
2 balls and a strike on George. Fouls it off.
Oh, this is the one.
Yeah.
Holy, what a uniform right there.
It's when Boog Powell, my teammate, would put that thing on, and he was the big red tomato. And
there's a young Expo.
That's a good-looking player right there.
Oh, wow, you had your own starting lineup action figure. Did you catch it?
It was a big seller. I was able to buy out the entire lot. Pop foul again, back to the seats. George has had a couple of pitches here to handle. 8th hitter of the inning for the Astros. Gaddis at second base. A couple of batters hit. One of those Altuve, who's at first. Altuve at least got an RBI out of it. Springer grounds it foul just outside of the bag.
Man, just foul.
Brent Strom was former teammate of mine. We've gone to the Padres.
How about that? I think that was a fastball up in his own.
Yeah. There's Brent Strom today. Two and two the count. And down on strike Springer. That'll do it. 8 come to the plate, 2 cross. It's 6-1 Houston as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. And Nate Conger gets himself in the act.
The young Conger bot.
Jed Lowry comes on to play defense at third base, and Colin McHugh really had himself a nice night through 7.
Yeah, pretty impressive stuff. You can't say enough. This is a big game and a big situation. And how about the Astros starting the series with a 20-game winner now in Dallas Keuchel yesterday? Colin McHugh backing it up in a must-win situation, showing good fastball cutter, breaking ball combination, but stands to win that 19th win on the season. And you got to love the fact that these pitchers are pitching in big game situations, stepping up to the challenge and doing a great job of holding down what could be a pretty potent offense. You talked about the numbers and how well the D-backs have swung the bat throughout the season, but for the time being, it's Astros pitching.
And your numbers on Will Harris. Left-hand hitters have done next to nothing. Right-handers just 200 on the year. So he's been really effective. Marwin Gonzalez is playing at first base. Mentioned Jed Lowry at third base. And I believe that's it for the Astros. Popped up on the left side. Carlos Correa with the call. Out number 1.
Center fielder, A.J. Pollock.
Take a look at those changes. Jed Lowry and Marwin Gonzalez. Everybody appears to be maybe a little dinged in some cases, but ready to go now as you get to 162, but it's also about what comes beyond. Shift on. Altuve's in position. Second out of the inning.
Tell you what, the postseason can cure all injuries. Get that nice adrenaline push and add some excitement to it. Everything feels a whole lot better.
Yeah, as long as nothing's broken, you find a way, don't you?
You can play through that. Yeah, take it up.
Some guys have obviously done that through the years. And now Paul Goldschmidt comes to the plate. Nobody on base. That's the way you like it. He's walked and singled. He's also struck out. One ball and no strikes. Both bullpens quiet for the moment. That's the way a ball player is supposed to look. Paul Goldschmidt, big and strong, has a 3-0 count.
Yeah, I was talking to the Diamondbacks beat writer before the game today, and we were talking about Paul Goldschmidt, an 8th round pick. But Alan Zinter, the current assistant hitting coach, was working in the minor leagues with the Arizona Diamondbacks, and he was one of the few guys in the minor leagues that was high on what Paul Goldschmidt brought to the table. There were some questions around him, but Alan Zinter kept pushing, and eventually look what happened to Goldschmidt. Turned out to be a pretty good hitter.
Oh, wouldn't that be a shame? And how many times through the years have guys with big time talent gotten away? This one is crushed to left field. Diamondbacks are adding a run on a home run by Paul Goldschmidt. It's now a 6-2 ball game. 2-out solo shot. Number 32 on the year for Goldschmidt.
Yep, hanging fastball again. You know that Will Harris has a little bit of cut on that baseball, but this one didn't cut at all.
First home run of the night for the Diamondbacks. And now the catcher Wellington Castillo stands in, 1 for 3. Had an RBI single in the 6th inning. Played at the previous Arizona run. That was rather majestic off the bat of Goldschmidt.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Ball and a strike. Now Castro heads out to the mound. Activity now going in the Astros pen as Chad Qualls starts to get loose. Altuve there again in that shift. And that'll do it. Castillo grounds out. Solo home run by Goldschmidt. It's now 6-2 Houston.
Now for the opportunity to purchase tickets to potential 2015 Astros postseason games at Minute Maid Park. You won't want to miss the excitement of October baseball. Sign up at Astros.com/postseason tickets. And we're going to take a look at the standings right now. Here's how everything is for right now. But things could obviously change if Astros can wrap this one up, moving within a game behind the Yankees. Yankees losing both of theirs today. Lots of potential scenarios for the Houston Astros. Some games that could even be happening on Monday night at Minute Maid Park. So this is why you need to check out the website. You can purchase tickets for these games or get the opportunity to purchase these tickets by going online there. Lots of things still up in the air, but we're going to know a little bit more about those standings once the Astros wrap this one up, guys.
We're going to come closer to knowing by the end of tomorrow's games, Julia, and at that point we can sort it out, maybe, hopefully. Thank you, Julia. To the ninth we go. Carlos Correa leads it off. Oh for 3. Got the scoring started back in the first inning with a sac fly, RBI number 68. Really kick-started because of that leadoff double by Jose Altuve. His 40th two-bagger of the year. The offense has been good. Colin McHugh, quite good. Not all you can do is just intently watch right now, and I mean not only this game but what's been going on with the teams in contention. Correa grounds out number 1.
Yeah, tomorrow's going to be a lot of A lot of baseball watching going on.
Yeah. National League's all done. We've got it all figured out. It's all about the American League, and primarily the American League West. That would have been great news coming out of spring training, realizing that that would be the story involving the Astros late this year. Colby Rasmus has himself another 2 home runs on the night. Now dunks one in left field. 3rd hit of the night for Colby. A 1-out single that brings up Jed Lowry.
Third baseman, Jed Lowry.
Turned some tough pitches around here. He gets blown up on 84. Turns out to be a hit. It's a beautiful thing to watch happen.
Matt Duffy now has a bat. He's waiting on deck. Jed Lowry drew a walk in his only plate appearance of the night and scored a run in the 8th inning. Came on as a pinch hitter for Luis Valbuena. And that set off the bullpen for the Diamondbacks. Two 2-0 the count. Diamondbacks have utilized 7 pitchers tonight. The Astros just 2, McHugh and Harris. And it would appear that Chad Qualls is the guy that'll be on for the 6th or the 9th inning. Lowry hitting .225, has 9 home runs. One of those just enormous. In fact, more than one, but that game winner in Anaheim, the miracle game against the Angels. The Astros wouldn't be in this spot quite exactly anyway, the way they are without that swing. Beat the Twins with a grand slam. Three and 2 the count. Rasmus on the move. Ball 4 is delivered, and that'll put runners at first and second. So Lowry comes on and draws a couple of walks on the night. And now Matt Duffy pinch hits for Chris Carter.
Number 63, Matt Duffy.
This is actually the Will Harris spot in the batting order. As Carter came out defensively, Marwin Gonzalez went into play first base. And Duffy gets a chance to swing it.
Picked up a knock and an RBI last night. Then again, who didn't?
Yeah, that's a fair point. Duffy's 3 for 7 now in the big leagues. Easy game. Has a double. He's driven in 3. He's drawn a walk. Hitting .429.
Maybe you just need the name Matt Duffy to be successful in the major leagues.
Got to dress like Matt Duffy of the Giants the other day. And now the count at 0-2.
Tough call right there. Nelson's getting a little anxious to get out of here. Called that last changeup about a foot off the plate.
We do not have listed who is starting on the mound for the Astros tomorrow. Whoever it is, they're facing Robbie Ray, left-hander of the Diamondbacks.
It's too bad Ricky Bobby can't pitch for the Astros. Robbie Ray, Ricky Bobby matchup, that'd be a good one.
Could be a matchup in NASCAR, right?
It would be.
Matt Duffy staying alive, a 1-2 count. 6-2 Houston here in the 9th inning. 3 home runs for the Astros, 2 of those for Colby Rasmus, 1 Jose Altuve, and Duffy's down on strikes.
Center fielder Jake Marisnick.
Going to bring up Jake Marisnick. One of my good old buddies, childhood and in youth, and playing baseball together. Gets back with me, and he wants me to know that I'm still a mullion despite all the stuff that's come on.
It's good to have those friends, isn't it?
Thanks, Tim. I just want to let you know. Big thanks. Yeah.
Just when you're feeling good about yourself.
I wasn't, by the way.
Come on.
Ball and a strike on Jake. Marisnick came in the 7th inning and doubled and scored a run. Then reached as he struck out, and a pass ball was charged in the 8th inning. Stole a base, his 23rd of the year. Fly ball into shallow right field. Brito makes the play, and that'll do it. The Astros go down in the 9th inning. To the bottom of the 9th we go. 6-2. Astros lead. Southwest.com. Back at Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona, the Astros lead at 6-2 over the Diamondbacks. To the bottom of the 9th inning we go. And it is Luke Gregerson who comes on to work this 9th inning for Houston, trying to put this one away and give the Astros their 86th win of the year, and a very big one.
Stay tuned after the game as Bart Ennis and Mike Stan break down all the action from tonight's game, plus playoff scenarios and much more on the Astros postgame show presented by Houston Methodist. A lot going on, a lot for those guys to talk about.
Not a save situation for Gregerson, but I guess when you get to this point, you just lock down the best you can, everyone you can.
Yeah, it may not be a safe situation, but I think what you're thinking the same thing I am. Lock down the win.
Jake Lamb leads it off, 6-hitter, followed by Peter O'Brien and Chris Owings. Tapper goes foul. It's a ball and a strike. Lamb had a base hit in the 6th inning, 1 for 3 on his night. With a win, the Astros are 1 game back of the division-leading Texas Rangers. 1 game for each team to play tomorrow. With a win, the Astros are 1 game in front of the LA Angels of Anaheim. And then there's that Yankee factor, but that's, I don't know about for you, that's kind of next tier stuff.
Yeah.
2 hopper to first. Marwin takes it to the bag, out number 1. And we check in with Julia.
Thanks a lot, Ash. I have the Geico quote of the day. The skipper, A.J. Hinch, who's been asked a lot about the situation that this team is in. He said, we know nothing bad can happen if we continue to win. Very simply put, and that's the message he's been telling the guys. You can hear the guys try to tell the media that same message, not waiting around for anything else, for anybody else to help them out. They just want to win.
Yeah, he just keeps staying away from putting any more numbers in that loss column. And any way you want to look at it, it's what the Astros are doing. They're trying to make it 3 straight wins, try to make it 4 out of 5 on this road trip. O'Brien at the plate is now 3 for 8 in his big league career. He got a fastball last night and destroyed it. Seeing a lot of off speed breaking balls tonight.
First time a lot of these kids get a chance to see a guy like Luke Gregerson. Talked about how he can be a little deceptive with that short arm delivery. Granted, he's only throwing 89 miles an hour, but the way he releases as much movement as he gets on that sinker, he's going to see some funky swings.
Another swing and a miss, and down on strikes. So that's 2 outs here in the 9th inning. Gregerson trying to get through it in quick fashion as it brings up Chris Owings. Let me ask you, Blummer, and we've seen it go in all directions, but if you can get into the postseason, do you want to have gotten there on a winning streak?
Yes.
That's your feeling.
Go in hot. Got to go in hot.
Especially if you're playing the next day, which could happen.
Yeah, I was going to say there's going to be quite a few ball games for the Astros, depending on how things pan out. But they could end up playing on Monday, Tuesday, and then go straight into an American League Division Series right after that. But the way the offensive bats are going for the Houston Astros, I think they are in a good position.
Yeah, I think that's the one that seems most apparent. The pitching has been quite consistent, and again, number 1 in the American League. The bats have had their ups and downs, and I think that's a truism for most teams. The thing is, how good are the ups? And right now for the Astros, very good.
And confidence is so key going into the playoffs, because all of a sudden everything is put underneath that microscope. And if you're feeling pretty good about yourself, you're not afraid to be under that microscope. If things are going bad, you feel a little overexposed and you start pressing a little bit.
Owings 0 for 3 on his night. Takes a strike. It's 1-2.
That was filthy. Talked about that sink, but how about the location? Wow.
Trying to close it out right here. Slider and a tapper to the hill. That'll do it. The Astros win their 86th. 2 straight in Arizona. 4 out of 5 on the road trip. And they are now down to game 162 tomorrow afternoon. And this team, as Blummer's talking about, confident with the bats. And you would have to believe confident overall, as they're just picking up the W's one after another. And one more big one to get tomorrow. That final tonight, Astros win over the Diamondbacks 6-2.
Thanks, Bob.